So did you know going into the semifinals this year? Was first. Let me go back a little bit. Is that your biggest test that we just saw you ever do in terms of the biggest spotlight, the hardest competition, the most talent, the best competitors? Was
Yeah,
that was it? And were you nervous?
yeah, very nervous.
And why were you nervous? The crowd,
Um,
the eyes, the test it was going to put on you.
The guys next to you.
no, no, it wasn't necessarily the crowd, man. I've been in crowds bigger than that. It wasn't necessarily being on TV. It wasn't necessarily into that. It was more of hey, I know the work I've been putting in for the last 2 years, and I'm nervous if it was enough or not. Um, so living with that mindset of like I work out alone, and for the last 2 years, like there was that one local comp that I did at Crash, but other than that, man, I don't know if this is enough. I don't know if what I'm doing like how's it parallel. I see the highlights on Instagram with everybody else, and everybody's posting PRs, and everybody's winning comps, and everybody has over 100,000 followers on Instagram. So that must mean that they're better
And
than I. And
insane training partners. I thought that's very poignant that you said you work out alone, and they all have insane training partners.
yeah, and they have videos. They have, these. I would look at that, and It's easy to get caught up in the hype, man. It's easy to say, okay, like, hey, these people have all this. They have all this resources. Have so many people following them. They must be fitter than me. And for me, it was like I train, and it'd be easy to go in. It's like the training days and the comp days are completely different. Completely different, man. And for me, when you see these highlights from people, you're like, dude, these people are like machines because it's just their highlights. It's like you don't ever see them hurting. And for me, I know that I hurt in the gym. I know that I struggle with things. Like I know that my weaknesses, I know, and you compare those things, and it's like, okay, well, they obviously don't have any weaknesses because they don't post it and they don't talk about it, and we never see it. And so it's easy to start, comparing, and you get 8 athletes or 7 athletes. I've all been to the games, and you can get, if you're not careful, man, those things can creep into your mind of, hey, well, I'm this no-name guy. Sometimes I believe in myself, and sometimes I, think I can win it, and then other times it's like, okay, well, cool down, Jayson. Look at who you're going against. You're going against people who have been there many times than you have, older guys, more mature guys in the sport, all these things, and it's easy just to get caught up in those lies, man. And so when I say nervous, it was, okay, like I know I've put in the work. I know I've put in the work with my weaknesses and all the whole 9 yards, man. I know I've dialed in the details and taken care of all the things I can control. I'm nervous about, is it enough? Was sleeping 8 hours, was that enough? Or did it need to be 10? Was drinking 3 bottle of water is enough through the season and not 5 every day? Was, you know, I work out 2.5 hours a day. These people are working out 8 hours. They get 3 sessions a day. I get 1. I'm over here squeezing in 90% of heavy front squats 5 minutes after a banger for 20 minutes. It's just like, those things are tough. Those things are tough on your body, and people get to recover longer. And if you're not careful, like, those things can make you insecure, and those things add up. And then right before you go out on the comp floor, all that is like, the question is it enough? Was it enough? The last 2 years, was it enough?
And
you
they,
get
and they
nervous.
have all they have. You're right. They're surrounded by other athletes who can give them, hey, this is how you should recover. They're surrounded by nutritionists. They're surrounded by these teams that cater to, well, that have a shit ton of experience. And it almost sounds like you're just winging it. Not necessarily just winging it. I mean, you have the internet to do research on, and obviously you've moved your whole life, but you're feeling around more in the dark than they are. They have some tried and proven methods, and
Right.
you're putting it together